Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Belchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you. 27 Sec 5 of Jane Eyre, an Autobiography.
As.
Al.
Jane Eyre, an Autobiography. Brontë. 27 Sec 5. Love him. Tell him you love him and will be his. In the world cursed for you. Still indomitable was the reply I care for myself. The more solitary, the more friendless, the more unsustained I am, the more I will respect myself. I will keep the law given by God, sanctioned by man. I was sane, and not mad as I am now. Not for the times when there is no temptation, as this, when body and soul rise in mutiny against their rigour. Are they? Inviolate they shall be. Break them. What would be their worth? Always believed. And if I cannot believe it now, I'm in sin quite insane, with my veins running fire, then I can count its throbs. Preconceived opinions, foregone determinations, I have at this hour to stand by. I did. Worcester, Worcester, reading my countenance, so I had done so. To the highest. He must yield to it for a moment. Whatever followed. He crossed the floor and seized my arm and grasped my waist. Seemed to devour me with his flaming glance. Physically, I felt. The moment. Powerless as stubble exposed to the draught and blow of a furnace. Mentally, I still possess my soul. Ultimate safety. The soul, fortunately, has an interpreter often and unconscious. Still a truthful interpreter in the eye. My arrows to his. I looked in his fierce face, I gave an involuntary sigh. Painful. And my overtaxed strength almost exhausted. Never, said he. His teeth. Never was anything at once so frail and so indomitable. His hold. I could enter with my finger and thumb. Would it do if I bent? If I uptore? If I crushed her? Consider that I. Consider the resolute, wild of it, defying me, with more than courage, with a stern triumph. I do with its cage. I cannot get at its savage. Beautiful creature, if I dare, if I rend the light prison, only let the captive loose. Conqueror I might be of the house, dwelling place, and it is you, spirit with will and energy, fury to that I want, not alone your brittle frame, with soft light and nestle against my heart. If you would, you will, inhale your fragrance, or come, Jane. As he said this, he released me from his clutch, and only looked at me, was far worse to resist than the frantic strain. Only an idiot, however, would have succumbed now. I had dared and baffled his fury, must lit his sorrow. I retired to the door. You are going. I'm going. You will not come? You will not be my comforter, my rescuer, my deep love, my wild woe, my frantic prayer. What unutterable pathos was in his voice. How hard it was to reiterate firmly. Withsit. Withdraw. Any consent. But remember, in anguish, go up your own room. Belle. And Jane. He turned away, face on the sofa. Oh, Jane. Anguish from his lips. Then came a deep, strong sob. Ain't the door. But, reader, I had retreated. I knelt down by him. The cushion to me. I kissed his cheek. My hand. God bless you. My dear mister, I said. From harm and won't direct you. He answered. Without it. My heart is broken. Me her love. Sinably. Up the blood rushed to his face. Flashed the fire from his eyes. Erect he sprang. Out. But I evaded the embrace, and at once quitted the room. Was the cry of my heart as I left him. Dispirited. Night I never thought to sleep. As I lay down in bed. Of childhood. I dreamt I lay in the red room at Gateshead. It was darked, and my mind impressed with strange fears. Long ago had struck me into syncope. Recalled in this vision. To mount the wall. Feeling. I lifted up my head to look. The roof resolved to clouds. High and dim. She is about to sever. I watched her come watch with the strangest anticipation, as though some word of doom were to be written on her disk. Broke forth as Nevermunia burst from cloud. Sable folds and waved them away. Then, not a moon. White human form shone in the azure, inclining a glorious brow earthward. Gazed and gazed on me. It spoke to my spirit. The tune. Yet so near. It whispered in my heart. My daughter. Other. So I answered after I had waked from the trance-like dream. Was yet night. But July nights are short. Soon after midnight. Comes. Thought I. I rose. I was dressed. Nothing but my shoes. I knew where to find in my drawer some linen. A locket. A ring. In seeking these articles. Beads of a pearl necklace, mister. Days ago. I left that. It was not mine. Visionary brides who had melted in air. A parcel. My purse. Containing 20 shillings, it was all I had. I put in my pocket. I tied my straw bonnet. Tall. Took the parcel and my slippers. Ate. And stole from my room. Farewell. Caimais Fairfax, I whispered, as I glided past her door. Farewell, my darling Adele, I said, as I glanced towards the nursery. To embrace her, I had to deceive a fine ear. It might now be listening. I would have got past Mr. without a pause, but my heart momentarily stopping its beat at that threshold. My foot was forced to stop also. No sleep was there. Was walking restlessly from wall to wall, I listened. There was even a temporary heaven in this room for me. I chose a headbrit. To go in and to say, Mr. Rochester, fond of Rapture Wood, sprang to my lips. I thought of this. Must that you could. Not sleep now was waiting with impatience for day. He would send. For me in the morning I should be gone. Would have me sought for vainly. He would feel himself forsaken, live rejected. He would suffer, perhaps grow desperate. Till I moved towards the lock. I caught it back, tried it on. Surely I would my way downstairs do, and I did it mechanically. In the kitchen I sat to thither. I oiled the key in the lock. I got some water. I bought some bread, for perhaps I should have to walk far. My strength, sorely shaken of late, must not break down. I did without one sound. I opened the door, passed out. Italy. Dim dawn glimmered in the yard, and locked. But a wicket in one of them was only latched. That I departed. It too I shut out of Thornfield. My loft beyond the field stretched in the contrary direction to Mocote, a road I had never travelled but often noticed, and wondered where it led. Thither I bent my steps. No reflection was to be led now, cast back, not even one forward, either to the past or the future. Damn my energy, the last was an awful blank when the deluge was gone by. I skirted fields and hedges till after sunrise. I believe it was a lovely summer morning. My shoes, which I had put on when I left the house, sin wet with dew, but I looked neither to rising sun, sky, nor wakening nature. Facing to the scaffold road, but of the Bacchanac sedge vein of the brave gaping then to fight and homeless wandering in dough. With agony I thought of what I left. I could not help it. I thought of him in his room watching the sunrise. I longed to be his. I panted to return, not too late I could. Yet sparing the bitter pang of bereavement. As yet my flight, I was sure, was undiscovered. Back and be his comforter, his pride, his redeemer from misery, perhaps from ruin. Oh, that fear of his self-abandonment, for worse than my abandonment, how it goaded me. It was a bobbed arrowhead in my breast, tried to extract it. It sickened me. When remembrance thrust it farther in, birds began singing and break in cups. Birds were faithful to their mates. Birds were emblems of love. What was I? Pain of heart and frantic, afraid of principle. I bored myself. No solace from self-approbation, none from self-respect. I had injured one that left my master. I was hateful in my own eyes. Still I could not turn, nor retrace one step. God must have led me on will or conscience. Passion, grief had trampled one, and stifled the other. I was weeping wildly as I walked along my solitary way fast. I went like one delirious. A weakness, beginning inwardly, limbs seized me and I fell. minutes pressing my face to the wet turf. Here I should die. But I was soon up, hands and knees as a verta. Reached the road. When I got there, sit to rest me under the hedge, and while I sat, wheels and saw a coach. Come on. And it stopped. I asked where it was going, a place a long way off, and where I was sure Mr. had no connections. I asked for what sum he would take. Mide, he said 30 shillings. I answered I had but 20. I would try to make it do. Then sighed. As the vehicle was emptied, I entered, was shut in, and rolled on its way. Gentle reader, I then felt. May your eyes never shed such stormy, scalding tears as poured from. Ein. To be continued.